I want to thank you for coming to watch this special YouTube video about the prediction of 9/11 and this national health crisis, which I've talked about to people since 12 months ago, and which aspect kicks off these amazing events here in this country. The horoscope of USA clearly shows what is going to happen in this country. Ever since I became aware of mundane astrology and the fact that you could indeed predict precise events with the horoscope chart of the United States, July 4th, 1776, Gemini rising at 2:14 a.m. There have been many astrologers in the past that have made some amazing predictions using this Gemini rising chart. So I want to see which horoscope chart would work in this era using the planet Pluto as a significator of events in the chart, the Gemini rising or Sagittarius rising in this chart. So this is Crystal Ball here, sharing the research of this project. We can finally get to the bottom of which horoscope is the one that makes predictions come true from yours truly, Crystal Ball. I was also able to predict the bank housing crisis of 2009 using the transit of Pluto in Capricorn. Pluto again in the 8th house of other people's money in the USA chart. Opposition Venus in Cancer in the 2nd house of America's chart, which rules banking. This aspect rules the 6th house of work, the 12th house, hospitals, bank, institutions, coming from the 9th house of higher knowledge, law, import, export, foreign countries, and in the 8th house, other people's money and debt. As we see here on this calendar, look at my little pointer here, it's January 2009 and 22nd day of January, and we see that Pluto is in Capricorn, of the 6th house, Pluto rules Scorpio, and opposition Venus, and the housing crisis kicked in. So we see traumatic events coming to fore in 2009. Go to April, we see that it's still moving away. So all throughout the year of, you see that it was within 2-degree opposition, Venus in Cancer, and Gemini rising chart, and we see traumatic events coming to fore during that time. So I think the latter part of 2009 is when Pluto opposition Venus was at the last opposition, so that was probably the grand finale of that bank crisis. So we see continuing on that Pluto has some really traumatic changing events on the chart of America. Now, as we go a little bit further on, we see that in April 20th, 2010, when Pluto got to 5 degrees, let's go there, 2010, go to April 20th. Now we see again that Pluto is retrograde this time, but it is at 5 degrees Capricorn, opposition Jupiter in Cancer. Now I don't see any bank failures here. Pluto rules health, so issues of unemployment could come to the fore with this Pluto opposed Jupiter. Also healthcare. On this time they were going through a big thing of Obamacare was big. That rules health insurance is Pluto in the 8th house. Pluto rules Scorpios with national health issues. And on April 20th, there was a traumatic event having to do with the oil spill, the largest oil spill in petroleum history happened on April 20th, 2010. So we see another traumatic event having to do with oil. Well, this is not within the scope of this Pluto transit to America's chart, but we do see other aspects in mundane astrology that have made this oil spill come to the fore in the news cycle in April 2010. We see that Jupiter in Pisces, Neptune rules oil, is within the 1 degree orb opposition Neptune in Virgo in the 5th house, and that rules oil. So there is a negative square aspect between Jupiter and Neptune in Virgo, which rules oil in America's chart. So there was a 1 degree orb aspect opposition to the planet that rules oil in America's chart, along with this traumatic, transformational, once-in-a-lifetime oil accident spill with Pluto and Capricorn, opposition Jupiter and Cancer, which rules liquids, so there could be some hazard with liquids in America's chart, and that was the oil spill. So the next big aspect in America's chart was going to be when Pluto would hit the opposition to the sun. Now, this aspect never happened before in America's chart history, and neither has Pluto and Capricorn opposition the sun in the 2nd house of money. But prior to that, there might have been a boom for the government with some big money, because Pluto playing a big money is moving to conjunct the part of fortune in America's chart. So there's big money floating around. Let's go to 2014. Now, in 2014, Pluto was conjunct the part of fortune in America's chart. So there was some big money in the insurance game with the banks, the government, some lending was going on, and so they made some big money in government during that time. But let's go back a little bit to when Pluto was 12 degrees. Let's go to January, 26 January, okay. 11 degrees. So let's go here so we can find it's 12. Okay. Now, right here we see Pluto is 12 degrees Capricorn, opposition to the sun. Now, this was supposed to produce some type of traumatic national health crisis, unemployment, something to do with the military, some war footing, a real traumatic event that never happened before in America's history in 2014. So I went to the Google and I saw that the biggest event had to do with this chart health issue was Ebola. The Ebola crisis took place during this Pluto opposition to the sun. But lucky for America, it had Jupiter, planet protection, going across the sun. It's the sign of great prosperity in spite of the Pluto opposition, the sun, Jupiter's exalted in Cancer, very protective influence. So it was a wake-up call. But it was only preparing us for what was coming down the road in this transit of Pluto throughout the Gemini rising chart sequence here. Now, Gemini rising chart, we're moving toward the next big aspect, which I said would come in March 2020, in April. In particular, when Pluto by transit opposition Mercury in America's chart on March 11th. Why did I predict that this March 2020 event would be so big? Mainly because Mercury is the ruling planet of the horoscope chart of America. And therefore, that is a very, very important planet in the horoscope reading for America. Very, very important. The aspects of transit and Pluto seem to always bring once in a lifetime things in the chart of a person or nation that have never happened before in the history of the nation or the person. In order to really pinpoint, is the Gemini rising the true rising of America? Aspects to the ruler of Gemini, which is Mercury, would be a key planet to watch with regard to any aspects to Pluto, the once-in-a-lifetime planetary aspect. You look for Pluto to make significant events because it's the slowest moving planetary body in our solar system. It has a 248-year planetary cycle. So any aspects that it makes in the USA chart that have never happened before in the history of the country can be made by Pluto transit. And we had one such transit hitting in March 2020. I told my friends for the past year, since 2019 in March, that March 2020 would bring a very big event, possibly a biological attack creating a national health crisis as Pluto in Capricorn, 24 degrees, 28 minutes, oppositions Mercury in Cancer in America's chart in the third house. Scorpio is ruled by the planet Pluto. So that means it rules the country's national health issues, it rules employment, it rules foreign lands, being that it's coming from the ninth house of the USA chart. The coronavirus came from a foreign land, China, and the first case of coronavirus was found in a college university. And Pluto in the natal chart of USA, Mundane Astrology, has Pluto in the ninth house of colleges, universities, and Pluto by transit is opposition Mercury in Cancer from the ninth house of colleges, universities, and the first case of coronavirus was from a college student. So this pinpoints the pandemic, Pluto in the ninth house, first located in a college student who had the disease. So this past year, I've been telling people about this March 2020 is going to be big, really big. Employment, national health crisis, and the military coming into play. And this also planetary Pluto thing rules alien beings, so could have maybe an ET incident that could shake up the world. But this pandemic is enough for me. Good enough for me. Mercury rules the fifth house in this chart. You see, Virgo rules the fifth house. So I also said that this Pluto opposition Mercury would create a shift in the stock market because the fifth house is ruled by Mercury. Mercury rules the fifth house, so there would be a shift in the market. And there was a major shift in the market on March 20th. It was previously a bull market and a shift to a bear market. And it will be that way as long as Pluto is 24 degrees in Scorpio. I think the market will be very unstable. And even though Neptune flying the viruses is on 18 degrees in Pisces square Mars, during the month of April, this Neptune is going to go 20 degrees in Pisces, which rules viruses. It's going to square Mars exact, so the virus could spread even more in spite of social distancing. So it could be a very challenging time throughout April, May, and June, because Mars will be 20 degrees in Pisces, and Pluto will be 24 degrees, exactly opposition the Mercury in Cancer. Starting April 21st, coronavirus will spread more, probably to prisons, hospitals, asylums, legislative, and part of the government, and the double whammy of Pluto opposition, Mercury in Cancer, and Neptune 20 degrees in Pisces square Mars. This could also bring mixed messages from legislative branch of government, executive branch of government about the coronavirus. This could be a time of a lot of confusion in the headlines. Unemployment will still be felt, and there will be so much confusion in the USA chart between April and August. Another war for oil, that could be in the headlines too during April and August of 2020. Could be in the news pretty big. The stock market will start to show some regeneration after August 18th. And it will continue until November 19th. Perhaps the biotech health stocks will go up and the market should shift for the better based on this Pluto aspect. Pluto in the ninth house, as it was opposed Mercury in the third house. The ninth house rules sporting events. Mercury rules sporting events, and all this was shut down during this exact 24 degrees Pluto and Capricorn opposed Mercury. So had an aspect, big influence in this corporate sports business, which ruled Pluto in the ninth house, and fifth house ruler of Mercury. So it was hit pretty hard. But during August and November, the sports business, entertainment business, all public events are going to be bigger than ever. All major sports entertainment venues should see record crowds between August and November 2020. On December 26th, let's go to December 26th, 2020, we're going to see that Pluto is going to go back into 24 degrees Capricorn, opposition Mercury again. It's going to be for the last time, folks. So during this time, we may see the unemployment and coronavirus type health issues start to return to the news cycle again. The stock market is going to make another major shift in January. I would say January 9th, 2021. It's building up then to make this shift. So we're going to be back again to the same situation we were in March 2020. Again in January 2021. But it's not going to be the last time. Because this exact aspect of Pluto, opposition Mercury, is going to hit one more time in 2021. So there again, we must be cognizant of a major market shift on January 9th. So if it previously was going toward the bull market phase, it's going to make a shift, most likely back to the bear market. We could have another resurgence of the coronavirus here in the northeast area, and the weather's getting colder, or some other event could happen. The coronavirus is still lurking in the background because the Neptune is 18 degrees square Mars. Oil should still be at a pretty low, but I'm concerned about January 2021, but I'm very concerned of what I see here in September. On September 11th, Pluto again, retrograde, is going to opposition Mercury again. Now, September 11th, 2021, the moon is going to be in Scorpio, which is going to activate the Pluto opposition Mercury in Cancer in America's chart. That's going to be a very nasty day, not a good day. It's going to activate it. So, I mean, health, employment issues, nutrition, military issues between September 11th, and this is all going to peak for the last time on October 21st, 2021. This is going to be the last time we're going to experience this transforming event, this once-in-a-lifetime transit event of Pluto in Capricorn, in the ninth house of law, college education, sports, and corporate media opposed Mercury in Cancer in America's chart. It's been the last time that I'm seeing the major market shift. It's going to be a major shift in the market on October 31st, 2021. They could release news about the coronavirus could come out again. It's not a life-transforming event. But this is going to be the last time this hits. So I told my friends that this October 31st, 2021 is going to be the real big one with regard to these coronavirus-type pandemics, Supreme Court decisions, unemployment, employment, and the military's role in civilian affairs during pandemic or other health crises. Also, October is not the greatest month for the market either in past histories. But as you see here, we're going to have Neptune square Mars as Pluto opposes Mercury in October 2021. And if we thought that March 2020 was a big one, the real shebang is going to come October 31st, 2021. Because for Pluto, this will be the last time it does it. So the last time Pluto in conjunct the Sun, we had 9/11. So this aspect is never going to happen again in America's history. And when this thing hits us, it's going to go out with a real bang. After November 29th, America, as we know it, with regard to national health issues, unemployment, law, college education, and aliens off planet and on this planet, are never going to be the same again. We are going to experience the repercussions after October 31st, 2021. We have never experienced before in this country. And this is going to be a time when what hit us in March 2020 will come back like gangbusters between November 31st and November 6th, 2021. We have to hold on to our hats. This is the crystal ball astrology reading for the USA chart from your psychic astrologer, seer, crystal ball. Signing off for now. We'll see you again soon. Good health and good luck to you all.